In this lesson, we will compare two advanced English tenses, the present perfect continuous tense and the past perfect continuous tense. So you will learn the difference between saying, I have been working or I had been working. Now, this lesson is part of a series of lessons and classes that help you master the English verb tenses. These are all created by engVid so that you can become really comfortable using English and move your English forward step by step. Now, I do have individual classes on each of these tenses, so perhaps you have watched those and maybe you haven't. So either way, if you've watched them, then great, you can continue to this class. And if you haven't watched them, that's perfectly fine too. Watch this lesson and then you can go back and you can learn those or review those in greater detail. Okay, so either way, it's great. Shall we begin? Let's go. All right, so what do we see about these two tenses? First, they are similar in some ways. For example, both of them have the word continuous in them, which means they are talking about some action that continues, okay? And they're both talking about two different times, but in different ways. The present perfect continuous links the past and the present. Okay, got that? The past perfect continuous links the past and the past. All right? I'm going to show you an example in a minute so you'll get it, but first let's understand a little bit of the theory. The present perfect continuous talks about something that started in the past and it continues in the present. The past perfect continuous talks about something that started in the past and continued in the past. See that? Here we have past and present. Here we have past and past. Let's look at a timeline now and understand exactly what we're talking about here. So, this is our timeline. This is the present or now. Okay? Everything before this is the past. Everything after this is the future. But right now, we're interested in this part. So, if I say, for example, I have been working hard all day, so I am tired. What does that mean? I started working in the past, and I'm still working now. So, I have been working hard all day. I started working in the past, and I'm still working now. And therefore, what? I am tired now. Okay? Let's look at the other side. Now, in this timeline, again, this is the present, that's the future, and this is the past. But now, whatever we're going to say, it doesn't touch the present. It talks only about two actions in the past. For example, I had been working hard all day, so I was tired. Now, I'm telling you that at some point in the past, doesn't matter when, maybe last night, maybe yesterday, maybe last week, maybe last year, doesn't matter, but I had been working hard all day at that time, from this time to this time, and so I was tired, okay? So it's just talking about two things that happened in the past, and therefore the result was in the past. This talks about something which happened in the past, and the result is now. So this continued and that continued, but this continued from the past into the present, and this continued from a point in the past to another point in the past, but it doesn't touch the present. We're going to understand exactly a little bit more as we look through more examples. Now let's look at the structure of these two different continuous tenses. And remember, both of them can also be called the progressive tenses. So this could also be called present perfect progressive, and this one can also be called past perfect progressive. These are just two names for the same tense. So let's look at the structure of the first one. For present perfect continuous, we have subject plus have been or has been plus the verb plus ing. For example, I have been working. You can repeat it after me if you like. It helps. It helps you to get used to it. You have been working. We have been working. They have been working. Then we have a change. He has been working. She has been working. It has been working. Okay? That's the basic structure. We're using the subject plus have been or has been plus the verb, in this case work, plus ing. All right? That's for positive sentences. Let's look at a negative example, negative sentence. He has not been working. Right? So basically we're just putting not. I have not been working. He has not been working. We're just adding not. And how do we form the question? We change the order. Have you been working? Have they been working? Has he been working? Has she been working? Okay? That's basically it. You need to be able to form the positive sentence, the negative sentence, and the question. So that's present perfect continuous. Now let's look at our other friend, past perfect continuous. So this is a little bit easier because there's no change. So for all of the subjects, you have subject plus had been plus the verb plus ing. Okay? So it's a little bit easier. So it would sound like this. Say it after me. I had been working. You had been working. We had been working. They had been working. He had been working. She had been working. And it had been working. Good. That's the positive. Now the negative sentence. He had not been working. Okay, same thing. We're putting not in here. Okay, here we see it. And she had not been working. They had not been working. Okay, and how do we form the question? Same thing. We change the order. Instead of saying he had, we say, had he been working? Had they been working? All right, so we're changing the order there. Now, what's important is that for all of these, we can use contractions. We can use shortened forms. I'm not going to go into detail on those in this lesson, but also here, instead of saying I have been working, I could say I've been working or he's been working. Here I could say we'd been working, she'd been working, okay? But again, as I said, I have individual lessons on each of these tenses, which you can watch in case you want the full class on each of these tenses. All right? But now, I think by this lesson itself, you will already have understood so much. So let's do some practice. Now let's do some practice with both of these tenses. And I'm sure that after this, you're just going to understand so much better exactly how to use each of them. So let's get started. Now, in each case, we have two sentences, okay? For one of them, we need present perfect continuous, and in one of them, we need past perfect continuous. So, how do you decide? Remember, present perfect continuous is going to connect the past event to something in the present, and past perfect continuous connects the past and the past. All right, so keep that in mind as you work through these with me. So, let's read number 1. I, blank, wait for the food, so I am hungry. What do you think that will be? Okay, let's read number 2 and it might help you. Number 2 says, I blank wait for the food, so I was hungry. Now let's go back to number 1. Which tense do we need? Present perfect continuous or past perfect continuous? Let's read number 1 again. I blank wait for the food, so I am hungry. Okay, so I am hungry is what? The present. So we want to connect the past to the present. So we use which one? The present perfect continuous. So this form will be I have been waiting for the food. I have been waiting for the food, so I am hungry right now. Now, the other one. I wait for the food, so I was hungry. Yesterday, when I was in the restaurant yesterday, not today. So this one will be what? Not I have been waiting, but past perfect continuous. I had been waiting. I had been waiting for the food, so I was hungry. Okay? See the difference? In the first one, I am hungry. I'm in the restaurant now. I've been waiting and waiting and I am hungry. That's now. That's present perfect continuous. But this one, I'm telling you about something that happened before, maybe yesterday, maybe last week. And I tell you, oh, I had been waiting for the food for so long and I was so hungry. Okay? See the difference? You've got it. And you'll get it as we work through these pairs of sentences. You'll see the difference. Okay? Number 3. He blank fly all night, so he was exhausted. Number 4 says, he blank fly all night, so he is exhausted. So, which one goes where? Here, the result is this is in the past, and this is in the past. So, which tense connects the past and the past? The past perfect continuous. So, what form do we need here? He had been flying all night, so he was exhausted. Maybe yesterday, maybe last week, whenever. But this one, he fly all night, so he is exhausted. So this connects the past and the present because he is exhausted now. We need present perfect continuous. He has been flying all night, so he is exhausted. And what does exhausted mean? Exhausted just means very tired. Okay? Say it after me. I'm exhausted. Okay? I hope you're not. I hope you're full of energy. Okay? But this guy is exhausted. All right. Now let's look at number 5 and 6. Now we're going to do the same thing. Choose one of those tenses, but we'll take it one step higher. We're going to make it a negative sentence. Okay? Let's look at the example. She attend the meetings, so she didn't understand the project. Make this part negative. Okay? Number 6. Same thing. She blank attend the meetings, so she doesn't understand the project. Okay? Which one has the result in the present and which one has the result in the past? Here we said, so she didn't understand the project. Result in the past. So she doesn't understand the project. Result in the present. So what do we need here? And make this attend negative. She hadn't, right? Had not been attending, right? She had not been attending or she hadn't been attending the meetings, so she didn't understand the project. Okay, maybe that was last week, talking about what happened earlier. And here, she hasn't been attending the meetings, so she doesn't understand the project. Okay, so this is past to present, this is past to past. Are you with me? Good. I hope with these sentences you can see the difference and why sometimes we need the present perfect continuous and sometimes we need the past perfect continuous. Let's do a few more so you really get it. Moving on now, let's make number 7 and number 8 also negative. Number 7, he blank study, so he is not ready for the exam. Or he blank study, so he was not ready for the exam. Which one connects to the present and which one connects to the past? So he is not ready. He was not ready. So this is past and present. This should be past and past. How do we do that? So he has not been studying, so he's not ready for the exam. Now, in the past, he had not been studying, so he was not ready for the exam. Okay? Got that? Very good. And to conclude, let's do 2 positive sentences again in a slightly different way. This week, present, this week I blank go to the gym every day. Or last week I blank go to the gym every day. So now your connection is here. This week, present, last week, past. So what would you put here? This week, I've been really good. And what have I been doing? I have been going to the gym every day. Excellent. Last week was also good. Last week, what will it be? Had been going to the gym every day. Okay? So again, you would know because of what are you connecting it to, right? Are you connecting a past event to the present or a past action that continued to the past? So that's those are the points you need to keep in mind when you're trying to figure out which tense to use. And I hope that this exercise of contrasting the 2 different sentences helped you to see that. Okay? Now, of course, you could make questions from it, right? Oh, you could say, have you been going to the gym every day this week? Or last week, really? Had you been going to the gym every day? Okay? So you could also, of course, ask questions. Now, if you'd like to move forward, which I'm sure you'd like to do, how do we do that? You can do it in 2 ways. 1, if you'd like a little more review and you feel like, I know these tenses, but I need to know them much better, much more in detail, then go back. Watch the individual lessons on the present perfect continuous and the past perfect continuous. I have separate lessons on those. If you feel, no, I think I'm good, I'm ready to move forward, then go forward. The next tense in our series is the future perfect. So go on to watch that one. And if you'd like to go forward or backward, but do a little more practice on this comparison, then go to engVid where you can do a quiz, a comparison quiz on this. Okay? But one way or the other, feel very proud of yourself. These are advanced tenses. They are challenging, but you can get them. And I hope you understood them a little bit better than when you started to watch this video. All right? All the best with your English.